Okay, sorry for late. So since beginning we are talking about the multi-cloud and the mobility part. Now I will go through in much more detail what do we mean by the mobility and how we are managing the data migration and all those things now. So quick introduction about myself. My name is Pravin Ranjan. I am a senior system architect at Huawei and part of the SODA Foundation team. So here overall agenda, what I have is the detail about the data mobility, why do we need, and what is the actual real use case of the data mobility, and how we are going to solve using the SODA Foundation projects. And the project name is Strato. So you can see in the diagram, there are two blocks majorly. One is the cloud and one is the storage. And if you put a combination, there could be a three combination. For example, cloud to cloud migration possible, cloud to on-prem possible, and again on-prem to cloud possible. On-prem to on-prem, actually we are not targeting now, though we can do through the SODA Strato, but Strato project, the main theme is based on the cloud. That's why we are mostly focusing on three major use cases. And you can see that cloud to cloud data migration we can do. Basically the data mobility, which includes the migration and the time based transfer from the data from one cloud to the different cloud. And if you go into the much detail that why do we need the data mobility, then here is the report. There are, I think, 2.5 trillion bytes of data is already there on the cloud. So definitely data is there on the cloud. Now you have to manage it. Sometimes the data should be migrate from one place to different place. And there are some third party solutions there, but may not be as stable what we are trying to do, because while migration there could be a lot of challenges, and those challenges we are going to discuss, and we are trying to solve that. So why data mobility? Because the huge amount of data is already present on the cloud and we have to manage. So during the manage we may need the migration from one place to different place. Second is, now we are day by day the data is being generated. So again the data somewhere will be stored. It could be on cloud or it could be on simply normal on-premise storage. So again here the mobility and management required, and that's what we are coming for the Strato. So that will basically help to manage your data, whether it's on-prem or it's on cloud. Right. So now in this page you can see that there are some challenges and opportunities I have mentioned. So what could be the challenges? Whenever we are talking about cloud and on-prem, it basically hybrid type of combination we are trying to form. Okay. So the managing hybrid cloud of data is really challenging part. But again we'll try to solve using the Strato, so that the seamless mobility, seamless management will happen using the Strato project. And here are some use case, real use case. So I will go with the diagram. As you can see that I have the data left side, and the right side you can see there are public clouds. It could be the AWS, Azure, GCP, IBM, around more than 10 cloud backend clouds we are supporting. So you have the data on on-prem and you want to move from on-prem to the cloud, for example uploading and downloading. And again some data is there on cloud and you want to move back to your on-prem storage in terms of the downloading. So this is the one use case. So simply uploading, downloading for one cloud, it may helpful, but if you want to manage multiple cloud from one point, then third party solution required. And the second thing is that why do we need to move the data to cloud first of all? So main reason is at the cloud, once the data is reached at the cloud, you can do lot of other things. For example, you can do You can apply AI ML there, you can do analytics, you can do monitor, and all those things you can do, because lot of solutions, cloud-based solutions are available at the cloud level. So that also we can achieve. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to help your data to move from on-premise to cloud or vice versa. Okay, so this is the another simple diagram you can see here. Left side, there are lot of cloud vendors, right side also lot of cloud vendors, and in that there is a block, empty block is migration service. So what this migration service will do, it will take the data from one cloud vendors and it will move to the different cloud vendors. Let's say the data is there in the AWS and you want to migrate to the GCP. Migration service will required, and in previous block it was just like empty. Now here the complex structure you can see that, because while migration lot of things need to be taken care. For example, if network goes down, then what will happen, any security threats, or if you have the large amount of data, then how you are going to transfer so that there is no data loss, no inconsistency, and all those things. All those things need to be managed at this layer, and this is the just simple example of migration service how we are doing. So in previous 2-3 slides, I was just going through the basic example and high level of example, what we can achieve through the by doing the mobility, by supporting the feature as a mobility. Now again I am coming to the actual use case. You can see here, upload the data or data set to your cloud for various reason, maybe for the analysis purpose or analytics analysis purpose, monitoring purpose, and any other use case. Second is, suppose you have the data but you don't have the good amount of resource, so you want high CPU or some other storage devices, so you may need your data should be moved easily from your storage to the cloud, so that you can, for a small amount of time, you can span up the some instances of CPU and all, and you can utilize those spaces. Second is, in case your cloud, your on-premise is down, then you can't do anything. So those type of data also you want to move from on-premise to the cloud, and here the Strato will help. So these are the list of use case. It's not only these many, there are so many other use case also there, but here are the high level of use case what you are trying to achieve by implementing the data mobility feature in the SODA as part of the multi-cloud. Okay, so as you can see that now previously I was just talking about the high level use case and the major challenges of the managing hybrid cloud of data. Now we are trying to just talk about how the multi-cloud, our feature, our solution is going to help. So in the diagram you can see that in the below there is a SODA multi-cloud, and from that endpoint there are AWS, Azure, GCP, IBM, Alibaba, Huawei, and all the cloud vendors we are trying to manage from the single endpoint. And in the data flow, the data migration and the life cycle management. Life cycle management meaning is that based on the time the data will be moved from one storage class to the different storage class, or due to from one place to different place in the different region, and all those things we can achieve in the data migration and the life cycle management. And the last one, storage service plan. In the previous talk, Toyota, right, he was showing one diagram that there could be a lot of vehicles and they want to manage the tier based service. So how they are going to manage that? So we have that, we have SSP as a feature, storage service plan, and mostly that feature is suitable for them, I think, and they are testing also. So that feature is also there in the multi-cloud. And here is the high level of architecture, you can say. some API gateway and different of microservices are there. Those are serving the different use case. For example, S3 service, which is mostly for providing the S3 interfaces, file service, block service, backend service for basically doing the registration part of the backend in terms of the cloud. For example, AWS, Azure and GCP could be a backend. And again, data flow and data mover service basically helpful for moving your data from on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem. And there are multiple databases also there, MongoDB and TIDB, to store and persist the data. Here is the high level of the data flow engine. Here you can see that there are some schedulers running. So schedulers is basically for life cycle management, because it will keep tracking the time, and once based on the rule, once your time starts, now the scheduler will come into the picture, and based on the time it will move data from one cloud to different cloud. Okay. So that was the basic high level detail of the Strato project multi-cloud. So thank you for listening, and if you want to join SODA Foundation, so you can follow the links. Some links are given here, and we recommend that you please join the Slack, because if you want, simply just go and ping it the Slack. Somebody will help you and onboard you, and definitely we can assist you to follow some of the projects. If you are interested in the Strato and multi-cloud, so there are other links, but simply join to this Slack channel, and from there you can go to particular project. So now I will quickly show the demo. Okay. So you can see that first we are going for registration, and this is the registration process, backend registration. So if you want to manage your cloud, simply you just go and register your backend. Once the backend registration is done, so in this video currently just we are going and registering. Okay. So 3-4 backends just registering to showcase the demo of how the data migration and mobility happens using the Strato project. Okay. So you can see that GCP 1, AWS 1, Azure 1 and other backends are registered. And now you can go and create a bucket. So you want to store some data to a particular bucket. So you will have to create one bucket, for example, and you will upload some files there. So let's create some bucket for demo purpose. So I have created few buckets in AWS, and again we will create some more buckets in different clouds. So if you see that the name is given, and this is the actual AWS console. So their bucket will also created. So the same bucket name will be available in SODA Foundation, and it will be available on actual cloud also. Now I am going to create few more buckets so that showcase some demo for migration. So now I am trying to migrate, show a use case where the buckets are created on AWS and GCP, and again upload some file to AWS and GCP, and will try to migrate from AWS to GCP. So again you can see that GCP bucket is created. Now I am going to upload some file to different cloud. So this is the GCP console, the new bucket is created. Okay, so we have two buckets, one bucket in AWS and another bucket in GCP. And another backend just like Huawei, and here also console of Huawei cloud. You can see that demo random bucket is created there. Okay, so the next stage is going to upload some file there. So simply I am going to upload file in AWS. So this is the file name. The same file will be available in AWS bucket also. Yes. Okay, so that is done. So what till now we did is we have created few buckets in different cloud, and we uploaded some files there so that we can test. Nice. So the uploaded some file in GCP also. Okay. So these are the just simply CRUD operation what we are trying to do, just like doing some creating a bucket, uploading some file to a particular bucket. Okay, so we are good to go now because we have already created buckets and uploaded file there. Now we are doing the actual things, that migration. So we will create some migration plan, and in that you can see here the source bucket and destination bucket you have to give. So in source bucket, the random bucket one, and destination is GCP. So once you click that, then automatically it will succeed. It will show succeed. Succeed means overall the data is migrated from your one cloud, source cloud, to the destination cloud, and that we can see here in the demo, that this file is migrated to destination bucket. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thank you for listening. So this was the use case I wanted to show in terms of the multi-cloud. Thank you.